Shabbat, Parshat Chayai Sara, 5772, the Shabbat of the Bar Mitzvah of Adar Reed. We read in today's Torah portion, Vayetze Yitzchak lasuach b'sadeh l'fnot ha'arev, and Yitzchak went out to meditate in the field before sunset. And our tradition is, according to Chazal, that Yitzchak initiated the afternoon prayer. In fact, each one of our patriarchs, Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, each one of them appropriately initiated the prayer services. Avram started Shachrit, Yitzchak Mincha, and Yaakov the evening prayer Ma'ariv. And we actually have text to substantiate this attitude. For example, the morning that Avraham went out on his journey to attempt to sacrifice Yitzchak at the Akedah Yitzchak, it says, Vayashkem Avram baboker, that Avram woke up early in the morning, and Chazal say because he used to meditate, he used to talk to God, he used to pray, dedicate time in the early morning. And as we just learned that Yitzchak, it says, Vayetze Yitzchak lasuach b'sadeh l'fnot arev, that he went out before the sunset to meditate in the field. And in by Yaakov started the night prayer, Ma'ariv, because it says, when he ran away from Esav on his way to Lavan's house, Vayifka b'makom ki ba hashamash, that he stopped in that place because sunset had occurred, night had fallen, and it was time for him to pray. It's interesting that if Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, the first, second, and third generations of our patriarchs, each started accordingly, respectively, the Shachrit morning, Mincha afternoon, and evening prayers, Rabbi Yochanan Zweig, the Rosh Yeshiva of the Talmudic University, taught this past week a very important lesson based on a question in the Talmud. Masechet Yoma, page 28b, it refers to Mincha, the afternoon prayer, as Tziluta d'Avraham, which means Avram's prayer. But wait a minute, we just made a big effort to explain that Mincha, the second prayer of the day, is dedicated by Yitzchak, the second generation of our patriarchs. Avram's prayer was Shachrit, the morning prayer, the first prayer of the day. So you see that it's a major contradiction in our attitude. It says that our tradition is we have to look at the very meaning of Yitzchak's name. It says, "V'tomar Sara tzachak asali Elokim kol hashemea Yitzchak li." That when Sarah heard that she was going to become pregnant, she said, "God has made tzchak, laughter, for me, and all that will hear what is about to happen, they will laugh also on account of me." And the rabbis explained that the very name Yitzchak is a statement of the history of Yitzchak. The letters are Yud, Tzadik, Chaf, and Kuf. And this represents the four historical points of Isaac's life up until this point of this week's Torah portion. The Yud represents 10, and Abraham went through 10 tests. The Tzadik represents the age of Sarah, 90. When Sarah got pregnant and gave birth, she was 90. The Chet represents Isaac's bris, when he was 8 days old. The Kuf, which is 100, is the years, the age of Avraham when Isaac was born. But if you notice, Yitzchak's name, when we break it up, it's all about the past and what other people's, it's his name relative to other people. How old his mother was, how old his father was, Avram's 10 tests, or at least passive, when he was 8 days old, his father circumcised him. But in today's Torah portion, Isaac sort of comes of age. This Torah portion is about Yitzchak's life, of him taking control, of his actions and deeds. It says, Vayetze Yitzchak lasuach b'sadeh, he went out so that he can communicate with God, and that he takes Rebekah to be his wife. So then why is it called Tziluta d'Avram? Why is Mincha in this Talmudic passage in Yoma? Why is Mincha not attributed to Isaac, but attributed to Avraham? Because this is the first time that a parent saw that his child took up the baton and took it to the next level. He ran with it. Not only did Isaac accept Avram's praying in the morning, he decided to take his father's commitment and take it to the next level and add an afternoon prayer. It was the first time that a father saw what his son had done and said, you know what? My son has bested me. He's taken it to the next level. He is really a Jewish neshama, to accept upon yourself more responsibilities. And Avram accepted Yitzchak's obligation as well. Avram not only prayed his usual morning prayer, but he also, according to this tradition, he started to take on Isaac's tradition as well. You see, we live in a generation where fathers and sons are frequently antagonistic. I just heard a story about a father who turned to his lazy son and said, "You're lazy. You know, when President Obama was your age, he used to walk 5 miles to school in both directions." And the son turned to his father and said, "Oh yeah? Well, when Obama was your age, he was president." But in our story today, we see that there was a completely opposite attitude between father and son. That Abram was so proud that Yitzchak had taken his Judaism to the next level. "And everyone will hear of this and will laugh on my account." That's what Sarah said. And Sarah meant that people will hear about this greatness that will happen in the future, and people won't laugh at me, people will celebrate with me. And that's what Avram is doing. The reason why Mincha is called Avram's prayer, because he celebrated with his sons. He's not being negative and contradictory. He's saying, you know what? Look how great my son is. Look how great the future generation is. We should celebrate with the future. And that is why Yitzchak literally means will laugh, will celebrate. When young generations take upon themselves added requirements and added obligations, it's a statement that we all should celebrate. And that's what happens whenever there's a bar mitzvah in our shul. It actually empowers our elders. For example, let me emphasize to people who have retired, for example, over the age of 65. Think about it. If a 12-year-old today who doesn't have a car to drive back and forth to the synagogue, who has homework and obligations and soccer and cultural problems and social burdens, if a 12-year-old can give a year of his time and study extra, do you ever think why anyone over the age of 65, is that with your experience, with your free time, with your discretionary income, is there any reason why we can't accomplish what our grandchildren and sons are doing? Whenever we have a bar bat mitzvah, the community gets invigorated because look how great the future is. And we should be like Avram and say, if they can do it, and they don't have our free time, our resources, our experience, we too can become better Jews. Like Avram. The younger generation of children add to our heritage. They accept additional responsibilities. We have a bright future. So I turn to the Reed family on the occasion of Adar's bar mitzvah. And I said, you know, Adar, the challenge is now yours. Look what your parents have done. They're like Avram and Sarah. In case you aren't aware, Danny Reed, Danny is the bar mitzvah's father. 15 years ago, Danny used to work here at Temple Menorah. He was our youth director. We brought in Young Judea, and for quite a while, we had a successful Young Judea that Danny ran. And in case you aren't aware, Joyce has coordinated not one, but 2 trips of Temple Menorah to Eretz Yisrael. So, Adar, I turn to you and say, look at your family's commitment to Israel, to our Torah, to our traditions, and it's the challenge is upon you to be like Isaac, to not only accept their commitment to Israel and to Shul and to Zionism and to Judaism, but more importantly, you have to take it to the next level. I mean, think about it. Your parents met in the land of Israel. Your parents made a commitment and moved to the land of Israel. And in fact, Zoe was born, your youngest sister was born in the land of Israel. They didn't just didn't talk the talk, they walked the walk. They really made every sacrifice for their Zionism and for their Judaism. But we can't be satisfied with what we have. We have to take it to the next level. Adar, and that's your challenge. To live up to the commitments, to live up to the philosophy and the spirituality of your parents. For truly then, we'll be like Abraham. We're going to see our children and our grandchildren take it to the next level. Yitzchak. The community will celebrate with you and with your parents because truly then there'll be a greater community, not only for us, but more bracha and light and happiness for the entire world. Amen. Kol Hashamea Yitzchak, that the entire world will celebrate with you.